Good evening and welcome to News Scope Daily TV, where we bring you clear, balanced, and in-depth coverage of the stories shaping politics, society, and global affairs. Tonight, we are examining a controversy that has ignited outrage across the United States and beyond. Reports confirm that former U.S. President Donald Trump shared a racist montage on his social media platform, Truth Social, content that depicted former President Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama as monkeys. The video remained online for nearly 12 hours before being deleted, triggering intense backlash from journalists, civil rights advocates, political leaders from both parties, and members of the public. The White House later claimed the post was shared by mistake by an employee, but critics say the explanation raises more questions than it answers, especially given what experts describe as a long pattern of controversial and racially charged online behavior. Tonight, we break down what happened, where the video came from, how political leaders reacted, and why historians and scholars say this incident carries deep and painful historical significance. What happened? The post that sparked outrage according to multiple reports. The controversial montage appeared on Donald Trump's Truth Social account late in the evening and remained visible for approximately 12 hours. The clip showed Barack and Michelle Obama depicted as monkeys, an image that many immediately recognized as racist and dehumanizing. The post was widely shared before being deleted, with screenshots circulating rapidly across social media platforms. The backlash was immediate. Civil rights groups, journalists, and political leaders condemned the imagery as offensive, dangerous, and deeply rooted in racist stereotypes. Following the uproar, the White House issued a brief explanation, stating that the video had been posted by mistake by a staff member and was removed once the error was discovered. However, critics questioned how such content could be mistakenly shared from a former president's official social media account without oversight. Where did the montage come from? Investigative journalists quickly traced the montage to a longer online video that had been circulating in extremist corners of the internet. The original video portrayed several prominent Democratic figures as animals, while Donald Trump himself was depicted as a lion, symbolically framed as the king of the jungle. Media analysts noted that the imagery followed a familiar pattern: political opponents portrayed as subhuman or inferior, while Trump is elevated as dominant and heroic. The discovery raised serious questions about how the clip found its way onto Trump's Truth Social feed. Was it deliberately shared? Was it recycled content pulled from fringe online communities? Or does it point to deeper issues around content moderation and accountability within Trump's media operation? As of the time of broadcast, no detailed explanation had been provided. Reactions across the political spectrum condemnation came swiftly from both Democrats and Republicans, making this one of the rare moments of bipartisan agreement in today's polarized political climate. Republican Senator Tim Scott publicly denounced the post, calling it the most racist thing he had seen linked to the White House or former president. His statement carried particular weight, as Scott has often been a prominent Republican voice on issues of race and reconciliation. Democratic leaders were equally vocal. California Governor Gavin Newsom urged Republicans to clearly and publicly reject the post, warning that silence could be interpreted as acceptance. By the end of the day, approximately 10 Republican lawmakers had issued statements condemning the imagery, describing it as unacceptable, offensive, and harmful to national unity. Civil rights organizations emphasized that the damage caused by such imagery cannot be undone simply by deleting a post, especially when millions may have already seen it. Why this imagery matters. Historical context experts interviewed in the report stressed that the depiction of Black people as monkeys is not random or trivial. It has deep historical roots. Historians explain that this imagery dates back to the 19th century, when racist pseudoscience and propaganda were used to justify slavery, segregation, and colonial domination. Comparing Black people to animals was a deliberate strategy to portray them as less than human. This form of dehumanization persisted through the Jim Crow era, segregation, and even into modern extremist propaganda. Because of this history, scholars say such imagery carries an especially severe moral and social weight. One expert described the montage not as a joke or accident, but as part of a long-standing tradition of racial degradation that continues to resurface in modern political discourse. A pattern of controversial post critics argue that this incident cannot be viewed in isolation. Donald Trump has previously shared content widely criticized as racist, misleading, or inflammatory. This includes AI-generated images, altered photos of political opponents, and material linked to conspiracy theories. In recent years, Trump has reposted manipulated images of Barack Obama, caricatures of Democratic leaders, and content later debunked by fact-checkers. Media analysts say the repeated nature of these incidents weakens claims that the posts are accidental. Instead, they argue it reflects a broader digital strategy that thrives on provocation, outrage, and viral attention. Despite calls for accountability, no apology had been issued by Trump or his team at the time of broadcast. Silence from the key figures as of this report. Neither Donald Trump nor Barack Obama have publicly responded to the incident. Sources indicated that Trump was expected to speak later in the day, though it remained unclear whether he would address the controversy directly or dismiss it as media exaggeration. The absence of a response from Obama was not unexpected. Historically, the former president has often chosen silence over engagement when faced with personal attacks, allowing the public and political institutions to respond instead. Broader implications for political discourse. Political analysts warn that incidents like this contribute to the erosion of democratic norms and respectful discourse. They argue that when racially offensive content circulates from the highest levels of political influence, it risks normalizing behavior that would otherwise be universally condemned. Others note that the speed at which such content spreads and the difficulty of fully retracting it highlights the power and danger of modern political communication in the digital age. The controversy also renews debates about accountability, platform responsibility, and whether existing safeguards are sufficient when it comes to political leaders and misinformation. This incident has once again placed the spotlight on the intersection of race, politics, and social media, raising difficult questions about responsibility, history, and the tone of public life in America. As reactions continue to unfold and further statements are expected, Newscope Daily TV will keep tracking the story and bringing you verified updates, expert analysis, and balanced perspectives. If you found this report informative, make sure to subscribe to Newscope Daily TV, like this video, and share it with others who care about understanding the forces shaping today's political climate. Your support helps us continue delivering in-depth, responsible journalism every single day. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in our next edition.